Kempo? I'm great, actually.
Good. I really invite you to teach Dharma to whole world because today is Buddha's teaching anniversary. So please teach Dharma to us.
Okay, I'm really excited to teach Dharma today because it's a very auspicious day, 2935th anniversary of the first Dharma teaching of our precious teacher Buddha Shakyamuni. So, in honor of that, I will be teaching today on impermanence and the six paramitas. So to start with, I'm not going to try and convince you that everything is impermanent. That's not my job, because basically everything is impermanent. I'm just going to show you some examples of how it is. So there's no convincing here, just demonstration. So I'll start with the outer, sort of our environment, which is like this world basically, which not too long ago was covered in ice during an ice age. And now we think of it as permanent, but in the future, really, our sun is actually going to expand as it goes through its life cycle as a star, and is going to become like a red giant, or is going to become a red giant, and it'll like expand in size, and it'll swallow up the Earth, and so the Earth itself won't even be here forever. So that's one example of impermanence. Next, you can take the contents, right, of the Earth, which is the beings within it. One example is dinosaurs. They ruled the earth. Now all that's left of them are bones and teeth. That's about it. Museums. And also within this earth are human beings, us. And so far as I know, no human being has ever lived and then not died. So far that hasn't happened according to my knowledge. And another way to look at it is that in 100 years, everyone you know, whether they're young or old, won't be here anymore. So this is kind of some really profound impermanence that's really in your face. So now that we've seen that everything, basically in our experience, is impermanent, we kind of feel the urge to do something, right? Because we know that this time is not going to last forever, and it becomes more precious. So we kind of feel the urge to get up and do something. So what should we do? And if we look around, we see everyone stuck in this rat race thing going on, and trying to get as much as they can, trying to get it as fast as they can. And the funny thing is, if you look at squirrels, they also do that. They're like collecting food, and they're trying to get as much as they can, as fast as they can, and they really, they're in a hurry. But we're not squirrels. So we should do something different. Basically, all squirrels are doing is surviving. They're just engaging in survival techniques. And we're not animals. We're humans. So we should do more than just try and survive. Okay, according to Kempo Choga, he gave us a great teaching. He said, being human means we need to help others, not just survive and work for ourselves. So how do we do this? Fortunately, Buddha Shakyamuni taught us how to do this, and then Kempo shared it with us. So basically the best way to help other beings is to become Buddha. And Buddha is unconditional love, absolute peace, boundless compassion. So it kind of goes without saying that achieving this state is the best way, hands down, to help all beings. So, how do we achieve this goal? Luckily, Buddha taught us that too. And it's in the form of basically the six paramitas, which are translated as the six transcendent perfections. But they have to be practiced with the intention to become Buddha for the benefit of all beings. And that's when they become part of our path to enlightenment. Okay, so now the six paramitas, the first of which is generosity. Okay, and I'm good on time. So generosity is really an essential practice on our path. This practice really cuts through our greed and it cuts through our ego clinging, because it's basically training us in not being so attached to things as mine. So whether we're giving things like flowers or money or even a hug or even better Dharma teachings, this is like a really great practice for us, especially at the beginning of the path. Note that even if you are a sentient being practitioner with ego clinging, you still need to give Dharma teachings. Even if you only know some Dharma, if it's benefited you in any way, shape, or form, then you should really share it with others. Because if you don't, then that's just kind of being stingy. So next transcendent, next paramita, or transcendent perfection, is discipline. And discipline, someone broke it down for me really well one time. Discipline is not doing what you shouldn't do and doing what you should do. So it's actually really simple. This includes avoiding even the smallest negative actions and engaging in even the smallest positive actions. Because as Buddha said, by collecting, or actually I don't know if Buddha said that, but it is said, by collecting drops of water, large vessels are filled. And in my experience, this is put into practice by listening to that voice inside your head. And that voice is actually your inner teacher, and this is your wisdom. So you really want to pay attention to that. And now patience, right? Patience is not being moved to anger while facing your triggers, which are those things that kind of set you off. And so anger is really like the most harmful of the 5 negative thinkings. And so since patience is the antidote to anger, that really makes patience invaluable to our practice. And in addition, the objects of patience, people or situations, should be viewed as blessings, because without them, we couldn't practice patience. So as Shantideva said, how could I be angry with the ones who work to free me from my fetters? Next is diligence. So the key to diligence is joy. Joyfully doing whatever you're engaging in. That's diligence. And since we've just talked about impermanence, how could a sense of diligence not arise in our minds? We have no reason to procrastinate and no reason to wait. Diligence is also about not being satisfied with your work until you've reached your goal, which in this case is until all sentient beings have become Buddha, even if it's 12 o'clock at night or 12 o'clock in the morning. And then another beautiful quote from Shantideva is, "Mounted on the horse of bodhicitta, which puts to flight all mournful weariness, who could ever be in despair, proceeding in this way from joy to joy?" So wake up. Next is mindfulness, or meditation. There's a lot to be visited here, but basically I'll focus on one aspect, and that's the importance of giving up clinging to like worldly or mundane activities during your meditation. And this is really important because meditation is a practice that requires really great focus and concentration, so it's really important not to have distractions going on in your mind. So the way we can decrease this distraction is by looking at the shortcomings of the objects of our clinging. And we've actually already done this by exploring impermanence. So if you're clinging to things, right, like worldly things, just know that they're impermanent, and that can help reduce your clinging and help increase your focus during meditation. Lastly, there's wisdom, which it can be gained through 3 methods. Learning and studying leads to understanding. Contemplation and the elimination of doubts leads to experience. And once we have good understanding of particular teaching and we've clarified doubts, then we meditate. And then this meditation leads to realization. And all of these 3 will lead us to our goal of becoming Buddha for the benefit of all beings. So, our lives are impermanent. We don't have any time to waste. So how can we even think of sleeping? And so I'll leave you with this quote. "Is there need for lengthy explanations? Childish beings look out for themselves, while Buddhas labor for the good of others. See the difference that divides them."
Thank you very much teaching.
Thank you,
Really
Kempo.
good teaching. So that is really all life is impermanent, and we need to understand what is the meaning of life and the purpose of life. If you practice bodhicitta and the 6 paramita or 6 transcendental perfection, you will realize that what is the meaning of life and the purpose of life. Therefore, it is please teach Dharma and learn Dharma. Leah is a very good teacher, and please request teach.
Thank you, Kempo. Thank you, everyone.